Ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They didn't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Detroit! Now let's go! 319! 319!
Brady now on first down. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The receiving totals for Meredith in last week's effort: 5 catches, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a big 32-yard play on third.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes, so they will hold on to the ball.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On third and long, it's Brady. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up fourth.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So our initial drive this afternoon results in 3. Not sure that that's a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
You're exactly right about that. I love how you framed it, right? Not sure it's a statement, but at the same time, you're putting something out there, aren't you? Letting them know, hey, we came to play today.
Goff will lead the Rams up here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. He finds an opening past the 40 and brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race now. This is into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
On play action, now Brady. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Fletcher Cox forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Todd Gurley, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
First time these two have hooked up this. It's a first down. And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. You know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a...
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Value three.
Now a handoff looking right. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
That's how you get right up off of the mat because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the 1st quarter play. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 4th down, gone. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Brady. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Brady to throw on second down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had. Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And they'll go on the ground. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, LA. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Rams add on to their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Aaron Donald's secret, if there is one, to his play, his ability to contort his body in such a way that you can't get a good, clean block on him. He slides through holes and slides past blockers.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Samson Abukum, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Gurley again here on first down. And room there to work it inside the 25. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now they try the right side here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Goff. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Rams add on to their lead. And he's got it up and through. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for it. So out now come the Cardinals. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Cardinals on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Brady. Completes it right side to Dodson. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
They've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Working from the gun, it's Brady. Oh, it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-9.
Operating from the gun, Brady. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So we come upon an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Super 66.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. Good move by Gurley. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, it's Gurley. He'll have another first down and more. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Rams add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he... He's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Oftentimes, when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green.
On second down, here's Brady. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doctson. And that takes us from second to third down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Wide open receiver complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he stopped immediately there. There to make the tackle, Samson Abuka.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Set. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Cardinals on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Brady. And it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He just joined the double-digit party with that last pick. He now has 10 on the season.
And that takes a great amount of skill, study, a tad bit of luck. The bottom line, he's had a heck of a season.
Value three.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And some room to run now. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Louis.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Spinning away. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Todd Gurley. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Rams have got it on cruise control. The lefty Tavecchio now to add the extra point. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception.
And the Rams got it. They bring him down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Brady. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. A gain of 11 and a first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him think. Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then it curls back inside for the completion.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Brady will try again on 2nd down. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at the 20.
76, tell him.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And some room to maneuver. 31 yards there and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Rams just continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield.
Here we go.
But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Throwing on third and long. Brady, quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Goff will lead the Rams up here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Goff on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. To throw is gone. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is going to be incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on fourth down. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Now Brady throwing on second down. They'll leave this for Ware. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Throwing is Brady on third down. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. Hard to call this guy a game manager, but that's really all he's needed to do. The running game, fantastic.
And they've actually put themselves in a spot where they're able to close the game out, doing what you would want to do in this situation anyway. Run the football.
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. play. The 20, 10, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point hooks a bit, but it's up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Here's Brady, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Brady. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. He's been terrific so far. Now this is fielded in the end zone. He spins free. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he'll get this one up to the 26. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them.
Hey, we got a shell.
Again they run with Gurley.